Today I'm going to be looking at this double page spread from the Mojo magazine. The article is with the members of The Damned, and I'm going to be talking about the positives and negatives of this double page spread. The first thing I noticed was that the colour scheme is red, yellow and white. Keeping a colour scheme is really important, as if you put too many colours on the page it can be distracting for the audience. The images, which are quite obvious, are really good quality, and I think that is a definite must-have for a decent magazine, as people don't want to look at images that are poor quality or you can't clearly see what's in the images. The clever use of the 4 images of the same thing makes it look quite neat and tidy, and therefore that encourages the audience to look at the images. Their chosen costume, where they're wearing black and nothing else, that matches with the colour scheme, so it all fits in together. It looks very neat and tidy, like I've mentioned before, and it's genuinely a nice image to look at. Because of what they're doing in the 4 images, having a pie fight, this is appropriate for a younger audience, as young people don't mind getting messy most of the time. The images are very interesting, as it's not usual that you see people covered in food in a photo shoot. They're eye-catching instantly. You instantly look at it when you turn to the double page spread. The magazine name is consistently mentioned on each page title, which I think is important, because if people come across a double page spread on like a different website, or I don't know, on a poster or something, of course the magazine want to take credit for the fact that they wrote the article, that the people involved to do with this article is actually working for the magazine. So for merchandise purpose, that's perfect, that needs to be there. In the images, I noticed that the audience don't make any eye contact with the pictures, as these 2 people have got their eyes closed and these 2 people have got sunglasses on. I think that discourages the audience slightly, but it also makes the audience look at it from a third point perspective, and it doesn't feel like it's being drawn into the image. The chosen font is quite difficult to read. It's quite small. You won't be able to see on the camera anyway, but it's hard to read, and I think that's discouraging for the audience. So I tried to make sure that in my real magazine that the font was a decent size and that you'd be able to read it. The title is really big and obvious, which is great, and the fact that they've used 2 exclamation marks but a question mark is very tactful, as it changes the tone, and it also questions the title itself. And I think this encourages the audience to read the article, because the tone is discouraging the use of a normal title. It's different, and the audience will want to look for a debate in what's being mentioned in the article. As there's a lot of writing in the columns, you can tell that this magazine might not be for a younger audience, as younger people don't necessarily want to read for a long time, especially in the fact that it's a small, tiny font. There is erotic language here that says fucking nothing, and this also discourages a very young audience for reading the article. It's not suitable at all. So you can tell just by looking at it, just by reading through it, that it's not suitable for a younger audience. The title, because of its yellow and there's a black background, it contrasts nicely, so it's easy to read the title. And in this section here, this looks really interesting, and if they like what they read there, then they know that they'll like what they're reading in the actual article. This gives snippets of what's going to be mentioned in the article, and that's really important to encourage the audience to read the article as quickly as possible.